Good afternoon and welcome to our Big Brother Mzansi Hangout. Today we have two housemates sitting with us. The first one is Lexi. We brought the candy to the Big Brother Mzansi Hangout with us now. Lexi, how are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fabulous. How are you?
I'm cool.
Great.
So you're back to reality, back to the real world?
Back to reality, back to the real world. My life is moving forward. Was a bit overwhelmed last night, but I'm happy to be outside and seeing different people. So I'm happy as much as I wanted to stay in there and win the money and just being there for a bit longer and entertaining people. It's great to be out here. My life hasn't ended. I think it's just the beginning now for new things and see where it's going to take me. So,
Very
yeah.
Cool. What was the one thing you were surprised to see when you came out of the house? Have you happened to see any of the news, or you know that we've got a new Miss South Africa?
I actually read until 2 o'clock this morning. I follow the Oscar thing really. I'm really passionate about that. So, well, it's on hold now, but Miss South Africa, and then I also heard that Gareth Cliff is no longer going to be in radio. And that's the first thing I asked. I was like, is there anything new that's happened for the 2 months that I've been out? Not much has happened. I think I'll catch up as we go along, but there's probably still more things that I need to find out. I haven't read anything about me or seen anything weird, but I think that's yet to come, but I'm not really listening as to what's been. I know, obviously, there's some things. So.
Cool. Well, yeah, you seem to be caught up on everything that's happening, so that's good. That's good. Now I've got some of my colleagues joining us in the Hangout today. It's Jocelyn and Sipilile, and they've got some questions for you. You want to say hello to them?
Hi, Jocelyn. Hello, Sipilile.
Hi, Lexi.
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Good to see you.
What do you want to ask me? What do you want to know?
I'd like to know, do you have any regrets about how you played the game?
Do I have any?
Regrets about how you played the game?
Absolutely not. It was all of me, all the time. I was lexifying everything. I was having fun. I was unhappy when I needed to be. There was nothing fake or added or a recipe. Let me change this. Let me do this to make the people in the house like me more. If I didn't like you, I didn't like you. There was no pretense. It was just me going all the way. If you liked me, you liked me. If you didn't, stuff like, you cannot be me. So I feel like I lived it. I enjoyed it. I owned it. And I brought a lot of, I think, competition in the house. And people wanted to be wanted to be like me, I feel. And I'm not going to make it obvious as to who wanted to be me, but it happened, and I feel like as an entertainment part, I think I brought it and I gave as much as I could.
Yes, definitely.
Lila, you got a question?
Okay, with that said, do you think you could have been more sociable in the house instead of having like one friend, just to be more sociable with the other housemates?
Definitely. Well, I gave people the chance to do that, well, the housemates, and as much as I didn't want to be attached to everyone, I obviously stated my reasons, and people kind of backstabbed me and hurt me and crossed me, and I was like, I don't need this in this house. Let me try again and see if it's going to work. I tried and it didn't, and I was like, let's just leave it and we go along. If you're not warming up to me, then that's okay. If I'm seen as a cold person, but that's only to protect my heart and what I feel, because I think if I'd gotten attached to everyone in the house, I would have left yesterday with my makeup smashed, and I would have been crying and I would have been on the floor, and that's not a good look for me as a person. So as much as I only had one friend, Mandla, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions there, but that was my friend, and that's something that was genuinely there from the second I stepped into the house. We caught each other, there was eye contact, there was a bit of chemistry, I think, from the night, even when we went through the night. It was there, and maybe I could have been a bit more sociable, but there's no maybes for me, there's no regrets, and we move on.
Can I ask you, did you feel lonely in the house at all?
Most times I did. To be honest, I did feel like sometimes I did feel lonely, even just sitting in a group when we had conversations. I wasn't honestly feeling like people invited me and embraced me as in you're being part of the convo. A lot of the things people were speaking vernac most of the time, and I'm English speaking or Afrikaans, and Vanessa had left, the one that I got along with. And mostly if I felt like this convo is not for me, then I don't need to be there. But for most parts, I tried interacting with people on a certain level. So.
And yet you were there for so long. I mean, 1 week to, you know, well,
I know.
That's where we are. So,
not in the finale, but I was a step away.
well, you did very well.
Thank
so
you. Thanks, Jason.
Jocelyn, another question from you?
Lexi, what are some of your favorite moments in the house?
Wow! Oh my God! It was the time when I laughed, like honestly from the core, and it was when Manla fell last week Tuesday. When I don't know if the camera picked that up, and it was doing the challenges. The dancing was my absolute favorite. The actual challenges for immunity was my favorite because I kicked ass I think twice, and was the time when the conspiracy thing was revealed, and I was like, wow, I actually was right all the time. So I enjoyed people's faces, like just wow, you got caught, and people came back to me afterwards. And I think my most favorite moment was when Loka came to me and she apologized. I felt like, oh wow, you're coming to talk to me, yet you've done this to me. I've had so many favorite moments. There were times where I learned cooking. I learned how to cook chicken soup. My absolute favorite.
Which is the last night of winter.
Absolutely amazing. And I've got so many moments. There were times where I honestly just laughed and I drank and I just had fun and I went with it. And I think people are always like, we don't know what Lexi's about. I don't know if I can talk to her. And I think people just trying to figure me out were moments that I really liked. But the genuine moments with Manda and myself is what I enjoyed most of the time. And the dancing in the rain and the jacuzzi times were my favorite times. And yeah, just I tried to be different, although I did things monotonously in some ways, but I enjoyed it and I would not trade it for anything.
Nice. Superlila, another question from you?
Okay, if you could change anything about the experience, what would you change?
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. The thing is, you kind of mentally train your brain to be like, I'm going to do this if this happens. When you're in the moment, it's very difficult to actually just walk away. But being in a confined space with characters that annoyingly eke you out, you kind of get stronger with that. So even with the arguments or the tears and the drama and people trying to obviously get to me, I enjoyed that it was actually a challenge for me to be like, bring it on, let's see if you can do this anytime longer. And I felt like the challenges and things, I would not change them. It made me who I am. It actually made me stronger, and I enjoyed it. So I was like, whatever you're going to plan tomorrow, bring it on. I want to see. Because I was not playing into people trying to kind of annoy me or get me to get another strike. I was hoping, they were probably hoping I would get that. I didn't play into the game. So the challenges with me to either, are you going to walk away, or are you going to actually get down to Kat's level or to Iris's level? And I didn't play into it, and I think that kind of just made them more angry. So, yeah, it was me, and I was like, I'm ready for whatever you're going to throw in my box.
Justin?
It's so fun to talk to you guys. We can do this all day.
Who do you think is going to win on Sunday?
Interesting question.
Sorry?
Who do you think is going to win?
Wow. As much as I've spoken to Loco on Saturday, and I was like, I can sense that she's got it, but I think now with the moment that Puli is gone, I really genuinely liked Loco the first time, and I would have rooted for her if I was not in the show. And she's an amazing, entertaining person, and she deserves it through and through. But I think even if she doesn't win, she's already a winner. But my number one, obviously, is Mandla. And not because I like him, but because I honestly feel that he's deserving of it. And just me learning about him, his background, and his family, and what he wants to do, really inspired me to be like, wow, I actually have respect for you in that way. Although I didn't openly show it to him, and maybe I should have, but he's so deserving of the money. And if he doesn't, he's going to get people that's obviously going to help him open more doors for himself and his family. So it has to be Manda, definitely.
So you're going to be voting for him?
I'm going to get some airtime after this convo, and I'm going to be voting. So as much as I have to, I will.
Okay, nice. Superlila?
Okay, what's next for Lexi?
What's next? Do you know I want to tackle so many things? I want to do everything. I'm that kind of superwoman, and
everything's got to get Lexified.
I want to Lexify everything. I want to try everything. I want to go into entertainment. I'm going to move down to Joburg so I can see more of you nice people. And it's either going to be TV, a bit of modeling. I'm not really tall, but I think I take really great pictures to a certain extent. And
give us your best pose.
well, I'm sitting down.
You're sitting, it's fine.
So I want to try a bit of everything and see where it takes me. I really absolutely love shoes. So even if it's into fashion, and even if I just get the backup of everything, and obviously behind the scenes, and this is what you need to do. If that is meant for me, then yeah, I want to rub shoulders with the great and amazing people I've met in the house. And also, I'd see if it's going to work for me in Joburg. I feel I've been in Cape Town for too long, so entertainment and getting used to the industry, it's going to I feel like I'm ready now. I've built myself as the brand. As much as Big Brother has helped me with the platform, this is me outside of Big Brother now, so it's what I make of it. And I think the entertainment, whichever way it's going to go, is going to help me get there.
So what's the future looking like for you and Mandla then?
Woohoo! 1 week in the Big Brother house is like eternity, so I think this week is going to be really mental and emotionally draining for the housemates. I have to see what Manda's going to be like when he comes out, because as much as he wanted to be with me and as much as he said he would chase me, I think that's going to change. So whether he win or not, I'll have to see. But there's definitely friendship that's going to continue, and I think we'll be friends for as long as we're both alive. And that is the greatest thing. If obviously we won't work, and he knows how I feel about him and what I've made clear, obviously, to South Africa and to him, it's not going to work, I think, because I think being in there, being confined is very different. I could not stay mad with him in the house, but I think if we were to argue now, I'd be able to get mad and just not bother making up with him. But we're going to be friends, and he's an amazing guy.
Okay.
So
cool. Jocelyn or Sipulile, another question from you guys just to wrap it up.
With the exception of Mandla, are there any other housemates you'd like to stay in contact with after the game?
Definitely Loco. I think we kind of sorted out our beef on Saturday. I was a bit intoxicated, so it wasn't the alcohol talking. I remember the convo. Puli and I are from the same city, but I think Loco for the most part, and obviously Mandla. I have no interest in socializing with the other housemates after this.
Harsh words.
As brutal as it gets. I'm sorry.
Honesty is the best policy sometimes, eh?
Yeah.
Sipulile, one more question from you.
Okay, what have you missed the most in the outside world?
Oh, I miss just listening to my earphones and just being able to read a book and just going anywhere, whatever time of day I wanted, and to have Nando's. Oh, I miss having Nando's so much. It was crazy. And I think Nando's chicken is the only chicken I love, but just even sometimes when I just wanted to be alone and no voices, no music, no Big Brother, I think my freedom and my privacy and just music and reading were, and obviously Nando's were the five. And oh, I missed having a gurana. Oh my God. Those shops that we had, they are horrible. No offense, but to me they taste horrible. And it's not anything to be mean towards the brand. It's just something that was new to me that I didn't like, and we had to get used to it. Being there, you have to get used to something and enjoy it, make the most of it. So it's a nice drink, but it's just not for me.
Not for you.
Not for me.
Okay, well, I can say to you that Comedy Central is roasting Kenny Kunene on Thursday evening, and it's fired up by Nando's. So you should come and get some Nando's and check out the comedy roast. It'll be lots of fun. You can socialize with all big wigs, Onion Bow strikes poses all the time.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you should come hang out with us.
I'll definitely come. I'll make a plan. I'm sure I should be there. So.
Otherwise, if you aren't going to be there, how do people follow you? Are you on the social networks? Yeah.
On Twitter and Facebook and a whole lot of other crazy things that I don't remember. But on Twitter it's @van_Lexi, and obviously on Facebook it's Lexi Van.
Lexi Van.
That's it.
Simple, cool. So
Very
you'll accept
simple.
everyone, and
I'll accept it. Well, not everyone. I think right now I have to be a bit careful and just let it simmer a little bit, and then. Yeah, but I'm really happy with everyone that's followed me, that's loved me, that supported me. I'm so happy that there are people that actually really love me and enjoyed seeing me on TV, and I was happy to entertain. That's why I'm here. And you guys, thank you for having me and talking to me and asking questions. I enjoyed it. I can do this another 2 days.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
guys.
Thank you for entertaining us,
Thank
and
you.
we'll catch you soon.
Cool stuff.
Cool.
Great. Thank
We'll
you.
catch up with you next.
In a
Puli is
lab.
coming.
Bye, Lexi.